FOOD, and today we're going to talk about the science of delicious, fluffy mashed potatoes. Mashed potatoes are one of my favorite things to do, to eat, and make in the whole wide world. I like them so much that I decided to make them for this video today. Hit the intro.
Hi, I'm Kipling, and I'm a kid who loves good food. But I wonder, what does it take to make food really delicious? Come with me as I research the science behind fantabulous food and how to cook it. This is FOOD, culinary science for kids of all ages.
Okay, so before we dive right into making our mashed potatoes, it's science time! So, there are different varieties of potatoes, and some of them are better for making mashed potatoes. Like Yukon Gold and Idaho Russet are the best for making mashed potatoes because they have more starch cells, and you want the starch cells to contain more starch than others. So imagine the starch cells as tiny inflatable beach balls. So with the tiny inflatable beach balls, they're going to be fluffy if they're big and strong and they're full of air. They're going to be stacked on top of each other and they'll take up more space. But what you don't want is them to be deflated beach balls that they'll take up less space and they'll just turn into a sticky, gluey paste. The way to make them deflate or break open is that if you cook them too much or you mash them too much. So these are our highly scientific reproduction of potato starch cells. With one of them, then I'm going to treat them as I would with mashed potatoes. I would just mash them lightly, keep them nice and fluffy, don't overcook them, don't overmash them. And then with these ones, then I'm just going to overcook them, overmash them, put them in a blender, I don't care. Just make them so all the cells collapse down and take up less space and make them not fluffy. So now, as you can see, this one takes up more space, this one takes up more space, but this one doesn't, but they both took up the same amount of space at the start. This is like a reproduction of potato starch cells. This is what happens when you overcook them or overmash them. This is what happens when you keep them nice. Okay, so just in summarization, the best way to fluffy, delicious mashed potatoes that I love is to pick the right type, which is Yukon Gold or Idaho Russet, and to treat them nicely, not overcook them and don't overmash them. But Yukon Gold is when you mash them, the mashed potatoes will be more buttery, but with Idaho Russet, then they'll be fluffier. But they're both really good. Okay, so here are the Yukon Gold potatoes that I picked from our garden. I'm going to make sure to treat them very nicely. And we're going to start by peeling them, getting all the skin and eyes off. So we're going to put all the peels into here. Bag's running away. So, one time I got really good at peeling vegetables when I was at a homeless shelter doing a service, and I peeled about 10 tons of carrots. And I loved it so much that I put a carrot peeler on my Christmas list, and I got it. This is not big enough.
No, it's not. It's just going everywhere.
Okay, so here we are. We have all of our potatoes peeled, and now we need to cut them all about the same size so some of them don't get overcooked. So let's start. Okay, so we finished cutting them up. They're all about the same size. And so as you see, we have one pot that's small and one pot that's big. So with this one, we're gonna cook them too long, mash them too hard, and I even purposefully cut them too thin. And then with this one, we are going to put all the good ones in here. That's a red potato, by the way. And we're just gonna put all of these ones in here with a teaspoon of salt. In cold water, not hot water.
Yum, yum.
You want cold water. With a teaspoon of salt, that's the medicine. Salt does everything. Salt does everything. Okay,
So basically everything about that one is wrong.
yes,
Okay, cool. So we need to put these in now, right?
yes.
Alright. Plop, plop, plop. It's gonna splash everywhere.
Who cares?
Probably should, we need to lower them in, like,
Let's move the pot over here. We're gonna put in a teaspoon of salt. I almost knocked that off the edge of the counter. A teaspoon of salt in each. Yeah, and cut, so hopefully they're good. You tell them they're ready when they're nice and soft. You don't want them to be like soft. Yeah. You want them to start becoming soft, and then we'll mash them up. Make sure to overcook these ones and overmash them.
300, 301, 302. Oh, hi, I didn't see you there. Mashing all those potatoes is quite taxing on the grip. That's why we're training.
Training for the mash.
309, 300. My grip becoming stronger.
We need this for the mash.
Alright, so we're back from our training and our potatoes have finished cooking and we know they're done because they are really soft, but not too soft. And if you stick them with a knife, they just slide off. So, you don't want your potatoes to be too soft, that means they're overcooked. But ours are nice and perfect, so they look really good.
But first you want to do an initial mash without adding anything, just to rupture all the shells and separate them, and then make them into a gel, like a kind of gel. So we're going to start by doing our initial mash. That's kind of hard.
Still kind of hard.
You guys need some help?
Sure.
Do you need some real muscle?
Maybe.
Okay, let's see. You gotta push it all the way down to the bottom.
Oh.
Alright.
Okay, is that initial mashed enough?
Yep. Now let's add our cream.
Okay, not all of it.
Yes. Until it's about a fourth left.
So 3/4 of a cup.
Yes, 3/4 of a cup.
And is it cold?
No, you want it to be warm.
And
You
is
want to
it all
make sure your
cream?
cream is warm.
Or is it half and half?
Okay, now I need to just get
Do
back.
you need
at
any
it.
butter?
Yeah, I'm just trying to get this mixed around a bit.
Okay, let's put the butter in.
Yes, the butter.
How much butter?
That much first.
We want 6 tablespoons.
Mashing
Yeah, 6
it.
tablespoons. And we'll just keep adding the pieces of butter in and keep mashing it. Ooh, it's actually starting to look quite fluffy. But we
Yeah.
don't want to over mash it. Gotta be careful with that. More butter coming. That made a nice noise.
And what about salt and pepper?
Yes, we need salt and pepper.
Well, how much?
A teaspoon of salt again, and then just as much pepper as you think you need.
We can just, it said just like a crank of pepper or something.
Yeah, not
Mash
that
it
much.
some.
Yeah, you can mash it some. Okay.
It's like,
There we go.
we've got a big,
There's a wee bit of pepper in there. Try to
still
get over
some-
here. You want to
it's
get that?
actually way easier now.
Yes, yes,
And
it
it makes a nice farting noise. Listen,
Yeah. I want to keep some mashing some. Hey.
alright, you can keep mashing it now.
Let's just try to get anywhere that there's still like some pepper on top or anywhere.
It's looking pretty good. I think
Okay.
it's almost done.
If you take too long, it's gonna get cold before we get a chance to eat it.
Okay, that looks good
good.
How do you know it's good?
because it's light and fluffy. Ah, it's hot! Ah. Ow, ah. Oh, that's good. Okay, that's probably good.
Alright, that looks pretty good.
Okay, so here are ones that we cooked a lot longer, and now we're gonna mash them like crazy. So first we're gonna start with our initial mash. We're not trying to make them taste bad, we're just trying to see if they'll go flat. So let's mash them like crazy. Ugh.
Come on, use your training muscle.
You can do it! There's also a red potato in there.
Okay, and we're gonna be mashing this for a lot longer than we mashed the other one, right?
Yes, way longer. It's wearing me out, even with my training. You want to
And
keep doing
switch.
some? Okay, so we have our 2 potatoes. We have our overmashed and we have our light and fluffy.
So we're gonna try them. We'll see how they taste.
I'll start with this one. You can start with that one.
No, we'll start on the same one.
I accidentally put in a bit too much salt. Very gluey.
It's
Very
really smooth,
salty.
but if you try and like move your tongue around, it just kind of sticks there. It's not insanely overmashed though. It's not super bad. I would eat it.
Now let's try this one.
Let's try our nice and fluffy one.
That's really good.
But
I just think that it's very unsalted because compared to this one.
yeah, that one is a lot of salt, but
I
not
like it.
way too much.
I like this one.
Yeah. So, what do you think about? So we've got taste differences. That one is a bit more salty, of course, but it's also like smooth and sticky. And this one is fluffy. It just kind of melts apart in your mouth. It tastes pretty good, but we even, before you ate it all, now you can't see that one, but we have look differences. You can see
can
a
just
little
look at
bit
this
of this.
one.
Oh yeah, you can look at that one. But this one is more white than this one because that one had a red potato, and this is all Yukon Gold.
I like the taste of this one better, but this one could use more salt.
And I think it could be a bit smoother,
I like the chunk.
but that's easily taken care of.
Yes. So, this one's worse. I don't really like the taste. I just like the saltiness. That's it. That's all I like about it. This one, I like everything about it.
But if you
except
look,
for how much salt.
if you look, you can see the differences even just in this. Like this one has got little peaks and mountains, and this one is just flat,
Like
goop.
flat goop. Let's mash it a bit more. Thanks for learning about potato starch with us. Click here to learn how to cook something else, and the best time to eat these potatoes is when they're hot. So I'm off to go.